Hey there, I'm Sandy McAlpine. I'm a licensed broker in North and South Carolina, and today I'm going to talk about what do you do when your appraisal comes in low. So this is mainly for sellers, could be for buyers too, but basically my biggest pet peeve. Oh, hey, there's my cat in the background. My biggest pet peeve is when inexperienced listing agents list a property for way over market value because they want to try it at a certain price. And then another agent comes along with a buyer, doesn't really do a market analysis, and makes an offer, tries to win the listing, tries to get the listing. Maybe there were multiple offers for whatever reason. Maybe it was one of the only listings at that price point anywhere. And people were grabbing and fighting to have this listing. And now it's not appraising because the closest thing down the road or 3 or 4 houses did not sell anywhere near that price on that listing. And so now we have a problem, especially in North Carolina, where there's a due diligence fee that's non-refundable. And sometimes it's a lot of money. And the sellers can say no, they will not come down to appraisal value. And essentially, the buyer will have to come to the closing with cash for the difference of the listing price and the appraisal value. So the appraisal is short, then they're going to have to pay the difference if the seller doesn't want to work with them, or they can walk and then they might lose all their non-refundable money. So basically, there's something called a rebuttal. And this is when the lender does the appraisal comes back. If the real estate agents haven't found a glaring mistake on the appraisal, like the wrong square footage or the wrong subject comps, maybe they're too far out and there were closer ones that actually sold that the appraiser somehow missed on their report. I mean, it's subjective, you guys. These appraisers make mistakes too. Sometimes they measure wrong. I mean, there's a lot of things that can go down. Maybe they were really busy that day and did a lot of appraisals and they were in a hurry and made a small mistake, and it could mean a lot of money. So being that stuff happens and we haven't found a mistake, there is a possible avenue to go down, and that's called a rebuttal. So you would tell the bank you want a rebuttal, you want to send the bank some additional comps and research that the listing agent or the buyer agent has done to support the price that they're asking. Like, listen, guys, if you have an inexperienced agent, like the last 3-4 years, they don't even know how to do a market analysis, most of them, and they just put a house on for any price and it sold. So nowadays, they're taking these listings and the seller's telling them what they want and they go, okay, just get a listing, right? But if it doesn't close and it's not priced right, they're basically letting their clients down. We're not in the job of getting people under contract for an exorbitant price and only to not get to the closing table. That doesn't work for anyone. So if the seller's in need and we need to do a rebuttal, and the seller's okay with trying to do a rebuttal, and everybody's on the same plan, we just want to get the house sold, the seller wants out, the seller has somewhere to go, then that's what we do. But if it doesn't work, at the end of the day, the seller has to make a decision or the clients can walk. Okay. Now, another option that a lot of people don't talk about is you could use another lender and you could start a loan process with a different lender within a different appraiser. You could also wait another 1 or 2 weeks to see if another comp that's under contract in the neighborhood closes. You can call the agent, try to see what it sold for, and maybe that will help your case for both the listing agent and the buyer agent if the buyer really wants a house. But if the seller is unreasonable and doesn't want to come down to appraisal value, usually the buyer has to walk. If they can't come to the table difference of cash, they're just going to move on. So no one really wants to lose a lot of money in this process. And this stuff is starting to occur now that homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer. Home prices are inflated. There are not a lot of buyers out there. There's not been a lot of sales in the last 6 months to use as comps. And we're seeing this already. And I just had a great experience myself where a home was grossly overpriced. It'd been on the market for 11 days. They were not getting any showings or offers. And I did a CMA, and, the house was not even close to what it should have been listed at. And I went in with a much lower offer cash for my clients and essentially got it under contract. And the sellers took it. I pleaded my case. I showed my market analysis. I'm saving my client several tens of thousands of dollars on this property by showing them that it wasn't worth the list price. So if you need someone to fight for you, whether you're on the listing side or the buy side, that knows what they're doing and knows how to look up comps and knows how to do a rebuttal, then obviously you want to hire that agent to work for you. I have a lot of experience myself. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate